Hey, welcome to the last video of the Design Day series, Technical Architecture. Today we'll be learning about modern tech design, designing within constraints for your solution, and how to pick the right tech for development. Let's get started. So when people think of apps, they usually think about mobile devices, laptop or desktop computers, tablets, or even smartwatches. We think about mobile applications written in Kotlin, Java, or Swift, or maybe a cross-platform framework like Flutter. We also think about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript when creating websites, but this is only part of what makes our apps work. In reality, apps have much more than that. In addition to the front end or client, there's an entire back end to most applications. Most backends even have multiple parts, which can mostly be bucketed into running code, data storage, and other services. So let's walk through an example. Let's say you want to build a photo sharing application. We can start by defining the client. In this case, we want it to be a web application. Then we need somewhere to host our backend and run our code. For that, we choose Cloud Functions. Cloud Functions is a tool which allows developers to write a function in Python, Node, JavaScript, or Go, and trigger it on an HTTP request. It also handles all of the scaling for us, so it's really good for beginners looking to develop web applications. We also need somewhere to store our user information like usernames, etc. For this, we can use Firebase Firestore. This is a NoSQL database which is also fully managed, meaning it handles all of the scaling for you. Lastly, we need to store our photos somewhere. For that, we will use Firebase Storage. This is Firebase file storage system, allowing us to store our photos on the cloud. That's it, we have our photo app. Let's say you wanted to add photo searching functionality like in Google Photos. To do so, we can use the Cloud Vision API. The Cloud Vision API uses advanced machine learning and it allows to automatically create tags for all of the images, letting us to search through all of our photos within key terms. So what if we have a bit more programming experience and want to use a popular web framework like Django, Express.js, Ruby on Rails, or Spring? In that case, we can use App Engine Standard. This is Google Cloud's platform as a service tool, which allows you to upload your code and it handles everything else for you. Unfortunately, App Engine Standard doesn't support WebSockets. No worries though, because Google Cloud also has an App Engine Flexible, and App Engine Flexible is different from App Engine Standards in a few ways. It supports WebSockets, but it's also much better at handling relatively sustained levels of traffic. App Engine Standard, though, is much better at handling spikes of traffic. So App Engine Standard also takes under 60 seconds to deploy your code, while the flexible environment takes between 5 to 10 minutes. Lastly, we may want to add different types of clients that each interact with the backend, giving our users access to their photos on all of their devices. Like anything else, this is much easier said than done. So how can we make these decisions in practice? We've broken it down to 3 pretty simple steps. First, we make a list of all of our considerations or constraints. Then we do research and choose the tools that make sense with our consideration. Lastly, we decide on how these tools will communicate with each other. First, we make a list of considerations, making a list of everything that might impact how this product is built. That means everything from how the user will use it to what your technical experience is. Here's a list of considerations that might be useful. Next, you should do research and make a list of all the tools you may use. At this link, you'll find a popular tool called the Google Cloud Developer Cheat Sheet, which describes every Google Cloud tool in 4 words or less. We've created an extension of this cheat sheet just for you, which outlines all of Google Developers' tools, which are free to use. The link shows hundreds beyond what is shown right now on the screen, so feel free to take some time to explore what is available. Last step is to actually design the tech. For this step, take out a piece of paper and marker and divide it like so. In each part of the grid, you'll write what tools you'll use and what purpose they'll serve. You can also use the template given to you on Google Classroom. Now you need to choose an idea. Here you should place the idea for the project you're working on for the solution challenge. Now, once you have all the technical architecture of your product, you'll feel a lot more prepared to start developing. This is also your chance to ask here at DSC for any of the resources you may need when creating your solution. As a note, we recommend using text specifically within the cheat sheet provided previously, as they are all Google products, which, if you remember, is a rule to use at least one when creating your solution. Now, if you're looking for additional information on what was discussed today, check out this video, Design the Technology, which will also get linked on Google Classroom. Here, you'll learn more about the technology involved in creating your solution and more technical concepts that I did not cover, as well as some additional resources to plan the architecture of your solution. If you have any additional questions, make sure to reach out to us on Discord. Best of luck. Thank you again for going through the Design Day series. I hope after today your team has gained a better understanding of the problem and solution you'll be working towards through February. Make sure to check out the prompt on Google Classroom to hear more on the last prompt for your team on your project. Good luck.